A growing number of financial advisors are asking themselves the question, how do I move from the old model to the new model? I'm here today with Nick Peters and David Rowley of New Adviser Limited, who are one of a small number of companies offering practical help and guidance to advisors in this key area. Nick, if I could start with you, tell us a bit more about New Adviser Limited.
Well, we're a completely independent training and change management company. Both of us who are stakeholders in the company have over 20 years experience in financial services. David himself is still a practicing new model IFA. In fact, I think our mission statement quite succinctly sums up what we do. And that is, it's our mission to offer practical and training and guidance to owners of IFA practices through our Masterclass Programme, allowing delegates to implement the necessary changes to their business model to enable them to move towards a more profitable future.
David, Nick just mentioned the Masterclass Programme. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Certainly, Gavin. The Masterclass Programme has been specifically developed by us to be wholly practical, not theoretical. The primary objective is to assist IFAs move from a transactional product-based model to a more service process-driven operation, with the outcome producing a higher level of core recurring income, a new model. Achievement of this objective will add real embedded value to the IFA's business, which will give far more options on exit strategy at some defined point in the future.
A lot of advisors want to make this transition, David. What do you think is the main obstacle in their way?
For many IFAs, instigating change on their own is that they go straight to the client interface, when actually this is the last task in the process. To change the way an IFA works and to look towards a new model, then it's fundamental change that's required within not only the business itself, but in the heart, mind and desire of the IFA principles. In our experience, it's the internal changes in the processes and structure of the business itself that most IFAs need the greatest assistance with, whereas addressing and positioning the practice with the clients, new and existing, believe it or not, is the easy part.
That's interesting. Nick, the Masterclass Programme is there are other convert to fee and change management courses available on the market. How is the Masterclass different?
First of all, there actually aren't that many offerings to choose from. Most importantly, the Masterclass Programme is not a one-day event or even a series of courses. It's a fully encompassing change management programme. The programme itself is designed to take delegates through the process from start to finish. Where we differ is that rather than just telling programme members what they need to do, we not only show them how, we also actually provide the tools to assist them make the fundamental changes. Plus, we enable the IFAs who participate in the programme to develop a distinctive business offering or model that's unique to them. The programme's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but takes into account the strengths, goals, aspirations of each IFA practice and their own principles.
You say that it's a programme, not a course. What do you think is the difference?
It's how it's structured, and that's the Masterclass Programme consists really of 4 main functions, 3 of which are supplied by ourselves, and the other one is actually supplied by the individual. We have the quarterly events, the toolbox, and then the support and mentoring service. The programme members, as I say, supply the last part, which is what they undertake to do when they've finished the quarterly events and return back to their practices. If we take these in turn, though, the quarterly events are not just another series of courses. They're where programme members meet every 90 days inside their own peer group to review their progress to date, to set their own objectives for the forthcoming quarter, for themselves and for their businesses. It's all about identifying the tasks and bringing them down into bite-sized chunks. These carefully constructed modules, all of which are themed in a logical sequence. So, for example, one will be on clients, and that will cover defining clients, segmentation of clients, identifying the profitability bar with clients, looking at cost-effective ways of interacting with different categories of clients, what clients to target, what clients, if any, to move away from, etc. In addition to these, at all our external events, we have external speakers. These are our advisor coaches. They are usually existing IFAs who themselves have successfully transformed their business to a new model.
David, typically, how many delegates would you expect on one of these days?
The numbers at events are intentionally limited, Gavin, to a maximum of 25. Any more, and this becomes a lecture. We want the delegates to benefit fully from these days, and so they are very interactive sessions, something you simply can't get effectively with a large audience. One challenge for many IFAs today is that they regard themselves as cottage industry, working very much in splendid isolation. One of the biggest feedback comments we get from IFAs is that they feel they gain real benefit from simply spending time with other like-minded IFAs who are going through the same processes, a bit like a self-help group, but of course without the hugging.
Okay, what else does the programme offer?
The toolbox, the contents of which are delivered electronically and are geared to the theme of the quarterly events. It provides the programme members with the practical tools required to help move their practices forward, but without having to start from scratch. I mean, why recreate the wheel? Support and mentoring is a key factor. Each delegate that participates in the programme will have an assigned mentor, a point of reference. Mid-quarter mentoring sessions will be held, usually by telephone, with the delegate's own assigned mentor.
Could you tell us a bit more about the mentors and how they fit into the programme?
Certainly. The mentors are members of the new advisor team. They're the main point of reference with the programme members. They provide mentoring, plus they also act as a single point of reference between the programme members and ourselves. They're available to the programme members for any queries, questions, clarification that the members may have. They also carry out the structured mid-quarter mentoring sessions which are held over the phone with the delegates and ensure that programme members stay back on track with their objectives and their action plans which they drew up at the quarterly events.
Well, let's go back to basics for a second. Nick, I mean, what's so good about being a new model advisor anyway?
Well, in our experience, an IFA working under a new model will have very clearly moved their practice from being heavily reliant on generating income purely by new product sales and have incorporated into the business model more advice and be more process driven. Their client proposition is very much client focused. By default, they've geared their practice up to deliver this in a highly profitable manner, which fully embraces the requirements of TCF, for example. One thing we can assure you is that no advisor who's already changed the model has done it to earn less or to have a lower valued business. In our experience, everyone who's undergone the change process has merged with a far stronger business. They're very definitely more profitable than they were before, and I have to say, working fewer hours than previously. In addition, the value of the businesses are way in excess of what they were before they changed, which is not a bad result.
Nick, this all sounds very impressive, but I assume it comes at a price.
Oh yes. Of course, if anything's worth having, it's worth paying for. Our arrangements with the delegates are very simple. We basically have one monthly standing order. This is set at a level of £250 a month. There's no minimum commitment period. There's no contract. If somebody doesn't really feel it's for them, why should we hold them to a contract? It's not good for us, it's not good for them, and we believe it's not in the spirit of who we are. We are also so confident about the real benefits that participation in the Masterclass programme can bring that we offer a unique, full, no-quibble money-back guarantee.
What's that?
We guarantee that if a Masterclass member, having attended 4 of our one-day sessions in any 12-month period, has not generated in sustainable recurring income more than twice the amount that they've paid in programme fees, then we will refund all fees payable. Now that's commitment on our behalf to ensure that we deliver.
Okay, it does sound impressive, but nevertheless, some IFAs are going to find £250 perhaps a bit steep. Aren't you on the expensive side?
If you think about what is on offer through the Masterclass programme, an IFA through this programme can completely change the way in which they work. They will have potentially greater income and enhanced practice value. Then no, I don't think it's expensive. What else could you use that amount of money on? A listing in Yellow Pages or Yell.com, a radio advert or regular advert in local paper? What lasting change would that bring to the practice? In fact, if you look at where IFAs currently spend their money and what that brings to the business, then our fees pale into insignificance, especially when you look at what fundamental changes our programme can make to not only their business, but also to their own exit strategy, their own income, their own way of life, and therefore we're very confident we deliver real value for money. Anyway, as we provide the unique money-back guarantee, then actually they've got nothing to lose but everything to gain.
David, if advisors want to find out more about the Masterclass programme or even join the existing programme, what should be their next step?
Obviously, Gavin, the website gives a lot of information about the programme. Limited places are still available for this year's offering. If they visit our site on www.newadviser.com, they can download a programme summary, standing order. It's that simple to apply. Should anyone want to speak further, then the website has all our contact details. We're more than happy to speak to any practice principal interested in moving towards a more profitable future.
Nick, David, thanks very much for your time. That's very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.